In today's news, former Premier Fahie and Maynard slapped with new charge of racketeering, taking the total count to 4 each. And highly likely that the Constitutional Review Commission will need an additional 6 months for final report. And the BVI Charter Yacht Society hosts 40th annual Fall Charter Yacht Show. Come home, Malone urged to rejoin to the National Unity Government, and the importance of the Pharmacovigilance stressed as the BVI observes Med Safety Week 2022. Well, viewers, these are more stories when 284 News return.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Well, welcome viewers to the Thursday, November 10th edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Well, leading today's newscast, well, viewers, former Premier Andrew Fahie and former Managing Director of the BVI Ports Authority, Fahie and Maynard, has been slapped with an additional charge of interstate and foreign travel in aid of racketeering, taking the total overall tally of charges filed in the United States District Court of Southern Florida to 4. Well, this was confirmed in court documents dated Tuesday, November 8th, which said the new charges of interstate and foreign travel in aid of racketeering were separately handed down to Fahie and Maynard. Well, according to the document, Fahie's charge stems from an alleged interaction that occurred on or about April 24, 2022, while Maynard's charge stems from an alleged action that occurred on or about April 26, 2022 in the Miami-Dade County in the Southern District of Florida. Well, the charges, which were filed by Assistant United States Attorney Shane Butler, states that the former Premier Maynard, and I quote, did knowingly travel in interstate and foreign commerce with the intent to promote, manage, establish, carry on, and facilitate the promotion, management, establishment, and carrying on of an unlawful activity, that is, a business enterprise involving narcotics or controlled substances, end quote. Well, viewers, the accused unlawful action is in violation of the Title 21 of the United States Code, Section 963, and carries a maximum of 5-year prison sentence and a maximum fine of $250,000. Well, Fahie and Maynard are also jointly charged with her son, Kadim Maynard, with conspiracy to import a controlled substance, conspiracy to engage in money laundering, and attempted money laundering. Well, viewers, more to come as this story continues to develop. Well, moving on, viewers, where it is very likely that the Constitutional Review Commission will need an additional 6 months to have their final report ready, since the late start to the review process will affect their June-July 2023 original deadline. Well, Chairperson of the Commission, Lisa Penn-Letsam, made a statement in response to a question posed by a resident at the first meeting of the Commission in West End on Wednesday. She said the late start to the Commission's process is due to all the other reviews that were taking place in the territory.
On the timeline, the Commission of Inquiry report suggested 1 year.
1 year starting?
With the 1 year from the date when the commission would have been established, and which was June, and with the possibility of extending for 6 months. Now that was just his recommendation, and I think the governor and the premier kept that. We had a late start because there were a number of other reviews being launched at the time, and just a lot going on with cabinet. All of the previous appointments would have had to be revoked, and a new commission established. So we had a late start, and then we got a late start that just had a domino effect. So it is very likely that we're going to not be able to produce the report by the end of June or July next year, but we will try our best. But if we don't, we have the possibility of getting an extension for an additional 6 months.
Well, Penn lets them assure the public that the 18-month period will be sufficient time for the Commission to meet with the public and gather all the necessary information needed to have the final report ready.
You would have noticed that our Commission is lawyered up.
Yes.
So I intend to put them to work, and we do have tools to help us, research tools, and we also have the benefit of a consultant who is not here, but he is a very outstanding member of the, retired member of the judiciary, Sir Dennis Byron. So with all the tools and the resources that we have to call on, I think that we can manage this within the 18 months.
Well, the chairperson also touched on some of the areas which the Commission will be looking into during the review process.
There are some specific things we were asked to consider from the Commission of Inquiry report, and so we have included those, but our mandate is not limited to those. So we are asked, for example, to consider whether how executive ministerial government can be held to account. We are asked to consider whether independent institutions in the Constitution, whether they're sufficient, whether they're fit for purpose. So these would include the AG, the DPP, the Complaints Commissioner, things like that. You can also let us know what you feel about reserved powers, that powers are reserved to the governor, and whether, what your thoughts are on how do we move forward in terms of transferring some of those powers to a devolved Virgin Islands government. We were also asked to consider whether there should be a regime in relation to election expenses, whether when a politician is elected, whether the requirements for him to make a declaration should be extended to contracts that he has not only with government, but with the wider statutory bodies and boards.
Well, up next, viewers, the BVI Charter Yacht Society hosts 40th Annual Fall Charter Yacht Show. And come home, Malone urged to rejoin the National Unity Government. But these are more stories when 284 News return.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's the best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The art of a distinguished gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, the BVI Yacht Charter Society hosted its 40th annual Fall Charter Yacht Show this past week at the Nanny Key Resort and Marina on Tortola. Our Jacka Wooden has the story.
284 News was on the ground and in on the action at the docks, mingling among boaters, agents, and onlookers alike. There, our team met with Janet Oliver, the organizer of the event, who shared some background on the history and purpose of the activity.
The society was formed by a group of independent owner-operators, independent in that they were not associated with any large charter company. They had a boat and they took guests on their boat and sailed them around the islands. And so they came together and formed a group so that they could present their interests and their concerns forward as a collective group. So that was the beginning of the Charter Yacht Society, and that goes back to 1982. And then from there, of course, they needed a way to market themselves to the sales force, which we refer to as charter yacht brokers. And so they're similar, specialized travel agents, I would call them. And so here we are at Nanny Key, and these boats on the docks are BVI-based boats, predominantly BVI-based boats. And the agents who are walking around are an international group of international charter yacht brokers.
Oliver explains that the event provides a unique opportunity for charter companies in the BVI, many of which operate individually, to build a relationship with charter yacht brokers who attend. In turn, the brokers use the information gained at the event to share with potential customers in hopes of finding the best charter option for their needs. Brokers Shelley and Randy Tucker explained their process to our team.
So we sell the trips to the potential clients that want to visit the beautiful British Virgin Islands. What do you think the clients love the most about the BVIs?
Well, I think it's probably a combination of things. It's the beautiful islands. I mean, they're all close together and there's so much to do and see here, and it's all just a beautiful spot to sail, the easiest spot to sail.
When a client is looking to book a yacht, they're looking for a professional crew that's friendly, that can show them the islands and everything there is to see and do here. They also want to learn about the history and the culture. They want to learn about snorkeling and all the fish that live here. And they want to get out and experience all the fun beaches and bars.
Crew members participating in the event shared similar sentiments on the integral role of the British Virgin Islands in the yachting industry.
I'm Caitlin, and I'm here on Yacht Portofino. I'm the chef, and this is my husband, Jeff. He's the captain. We're represented by Regency Yacht Vacations, and we are here to participate in the BVI Boat Show because we love the BVI, and we want to represent it well. This is our 10th season chartering, and we've been on this boat for 5 years.
Yep, and all
10 years have been based in the BVI, so we're very happy to stay here.
The country does half the work for us. All we got to do is keep them fed and keep the boat clean, and it's just a beautiful place and has everything they need.
This year's event hosted approximately 27 vessels, each representing a different company. It is anticipated that as the territory continues to heal from the 2017 hurricane season and the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the event will grow with it. A feat which Kerry Huckle of H2O Luxury Yachts believes will be a walk in the park for the world's premier sailing destination.
Well, the BVI is the premier cruising ground in the world as far as I'm concerned, never mind the Caribbean. And this event, these boats do 30 weeks of charter a year, so that's 30 times 8 guests. Each boat is bringing in 250 guests a year to the British Virgin Islands to go to the various spots. So this show is very beneficial for that. Everyone loves the British Virgin Islands. Before people even step down into the British Virgin Islands, they know they want to go to Anegada, Bitter End, Sabre Rock, Soggy Dollar Bar, Willie T's. They've got all the spots. It's really easy for us to do itineraries for the week because they tell us exactly where they want to go. We bring them.
Next on the Yachting Society's calendar is the Spring Charter Show, which is tentatively scheduled for May 12th and 13th, 2023. A release on the event noted that it will only take place if there are enough vessels to feature. It went on to explain that as the territory continues to grow in popularity as a tourism destination, many charters have been unable to participate as they have been fully booked for the days on which the event is held. To remain abreast with updates on the Yachting Society's calendar, visit the Charter Yacht Society of the BVI Facebook page or crudeyachts.bvi.com. For 284 News, I am Jacka Wooding.
Well, thank you, Jacka. Well, moving on to our next story, viewers, where Deputy Premier Honorable Kai Reimer is urging Territorial at-large Representative Honorable Carvin Malone to return home to the National Unity Government. Reimer's plea came during a recent sitting of the House of Assembly as he called for his Virgin Islands Party colleague to rejoin the united government.
Madam Speaker, I do a lot of Sankey, so I heard a member earlier speaking to another member telling him, come home. I know there's a Sankey song that says that, come home. Those who are weary come home. And that coming home is so that, as I mentioned earlier, so that we could speak in one voice. It makes no sense being fragmented. We are all trying to achieve the same things. Come home. Let us get this thing done for our country.
Reimer also told Malone that the initiatives and agendas that he is pushing for as a member of His Majesty's loyal opposition can be incorporated over on the government side to fight the current challenges facing the territory as one unit.
I'm not going to delve too far into it because, the member is watching me full in my face and I ain't want him to throw me off while I speak. But I encourage him to come home. And let's fight this thing together. You're welcome over here. The same fight you're doing over there, you could do it over here. Let us speak the same language moving forward.
Well, in June this year, Malone, who was the former Minister for Health and Social Development prior to the formation of the National Unity Government, crossed over to the opposition. At the time of his unexpected decision, he stated that several conflicting decisions made by his former National Unity Government colleagues as a reason for his decision to cross over to the opposition. Well, up next, viewers, the importance of the Pharmacovigilance stressed as the BVI observes Med Safety Week 2022 and BVI launches comprehensive soil study. Well, we get to those stories after a word from our sponsors.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. hook, I tell you.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, the British Virgin Islands joins over 80 other members of the international community in observing Med Safety Week, which commences on November 7 and ends on November 13th. Well, the observation, as explained by Chief of Drugs and Pharmaceutical Services, Gracie Wheatley-Smith, aims to place a focus on the importance of pharmacovigilance and encourage persons to report suspected side effects of medicines.
What it is a social campaign to really put information out there about medicines and how we can use them safely, and also how we can report on any adverse events or adverse reactions that we may be having, so that individuals in what we call the Uppsala Monitoring Center in Sweden can analyze that information once it is sent to them, and then can make recommendations as to the further future use of the medicine so that we can reduce further harm.
Well, Wheatley-Smith went on to explain the importance of pharmacovigilance in medicine use and why members of the public should take initiative to observe their body's reaction when taking medicine and do the necessary reporting.
Pharmacovigilance is a very important aspect of using medicines wisely, because that is basically what it is. Pharmaco is medicine, vigilance, as in vigilate, is being watchful. So therefore, we know that medicines are foreign entities that we are putting in our bodies. And because of that, we might have some sort of reaction, just because it is a foreign entity. So we want to be able to look at that, analyze it, and then see and make recommendations as to how we can reduce further harm.
Well, while some level of pharmacovigilance already exists in the British Virgin Islands, Wheatley-Smith noted that there is certainly room for improvement.
We need to enhance reporting. Basically, I think it is taken lightly by consumer and by our medical professionals. But I have seen, working at Peebles Hospital, I have seen and implemented pharmacovigilance when I was there. It is to be brought nationally to involve the private and also to make more alert the consumers so that they themselves can report if they are experiencing any side effect or adverse drug reaction. Now, there are some ADRs, adverse drug reactions.
Wheatley-Smith stressed that the reporting of side effects and adverse reactions to medicine helps to improve the safety of medicines to all and can assist in tailoring better prescription advice. Members of the public are urged to do their part in the process by reporting any side effect or adverse reaction to the Chief of Drugs and Pharmaceutical Services via telephone at 468-9850 or via email at grwheatley-smith@gov.vg. Moving on, viewers, to our final story, where the Department of Disaster Management will be carrying out a study of soils throughout the territory as part of a Darwin Plus funded research project launched this week. But the study will be conducted in partnership with other government agencies, the H. Laverty Stoutt Community College, and the University of Portsmouth, United Kingdom. Where the study will produce highly detailed and digitized maps for use across the public service, provide training in soil sampling and analysis, and help establish a soil laboratory at the H. Laverty Stoutt Community College. Well, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labour, Mr. Joseph Smith Abbott, said detailed soil maps can improve decision-making regarding a wide range of topics, including erosion prevention and mitigation, biodiversity, conservation, farming, and food security, building construction, and waste management. Well, he said, and I quote, "Well, this kind of work that is being done today really and truly allows us to better prepare ourselves to adapt to a changing environment." Officers from the DDM have been gathering soil samples around Tortola this week, and the research is being led by Professor of Geoinformatics and Disaster Risk Reduction for the University of Portsmouth, Dr. Richard Tew. Well, Dr. Tew stated, and I quote, "Already we are finding much more geological diversity than was previously understood." Throughout the project, soil sampling will continue on the 4 major islands in the territory, as well as key sites for conservation on other sister islands. Well, DDM Director Mr. Jason Penn said details about soil composition will help improve decision-making when it comes to risks like earthquakes and landslides. He also highlighted how the new soil laboratory will help improve future research in the territory. Well, he said, and I quote, "Well, this means that we as a territory will be able to monitor change, carry out further research on other local soil, and of course train others to continue this kind of work in the future." Well, partners in the soil study are the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor, Department of Agriculture and Fisheries, Environmental Health Division, the H. Laverty Stout Community College, Land Survey Department, National Parks Trust, and Town and Country Planning Department. Well, viewers, that's all we have for today's newscast. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You don't say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Alright, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
son.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man forget you.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI Love.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's the best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The art of a distinguished gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
Yo, everything good there?
Aye. This thing got me one way, daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch when I reach.
What you reach? Hey, this thing like you.
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out of trouble, me.
What your name is?
Shit. I talk about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to